Hey there, second grade scientists. It's Miss Haverstick, and I'm here with my friend Frank the Flamingo. You're probably wondering, why does Miss Haverstick have a stuffed flamingo with her? If you're wondering that, super. That means your curious brain is ready for science class. Well, let me tell you, second grade scientists, Frank is here with me today because we're talking all about adaptations. Remember, adaptations are characteristics of living things that help them survive in their environment. We've been talking with so many of our community helpers. Biologist Blake told us about animal adaptations, how animals are changing, adapting so that they can really survive in their environment. And my awesome friend, conservationist Camille, well, she taught us about plants and how plants adapt to survive in their environment. Today, we are looking super closely at birds. How do birds have adaptations that help them to survive? Now, Frank isn't a real bird. He's just a pretend bird. But let's go visit one of my favorite places really quick to take a peek at some real birds. We'll be right back.
Hi, second grade scientists.
Hello.
It's Miss Haverstick. I'm here with my mom, and we're in a really cool place. Let me show you. This is Lititz Spring Park in Lititz, Pennsylvania. We're here feeding some of our favorite animals, ducks. Look how cute they are. Now this week in science class, we are learning all about animal adaptations. And my mom and I noticed that ducks are an animal that have adaptations. Mom, what do you think are some adaptations of these ducks?
Well, look how they're eating the food. Look at those beaks that they have.
Oh my goodness, you're right, Mom. Look at their beaks. I know that a duck's beak is an adaptation. Adaptations are characteristics of living things that help them survive in their environment. Ducks live in areas with lots of water, and their beaks are shaped so special to filter the water that they drink to get food out of it. This is an adaptation. It helps them to stay alive.
And you know what else I noticed, Miss Haverstick? Look at those feet.
Oh my goodness, Mom, you're right. Look at these ducks' feet. That's another adaptation of ducks. Their feet are characteristics that help them to stay alive. Because they live in areas with a lot of water, ducks' feet have adapted to help them swim. These feet do not look like a lot of other birds' feet.
No, they don't, Miss Haverstick. They don't look like the bird's feet that I see in my backyard.
You're right, Mom. They're different. These feet help these ducks to live in their environment so that they can survive where there's a lot of water. Wow, that is so cool.
It sure is. That's amazing.
Second grade scientists, I hope that you love looking at these ducks as much as Miss Haverstick and my mom do. Thanks so much for learning about adaptations with us.
Bye, second grade scientists.
Check it out, second grade scientists. There are so many ducks here. Look at all of them. Wow. Miss Haverstick is so happy because I love ducks. They're so cute.
Whoa, second grade scientists! How cool was it to visit Lititz in Lancaster, Pennsylvania to see so many ducks? Oh, weren't they just the cutest little things? They're my favorite animal. Here's the cool thing about ducks. Ducks are animals that have adaptations. Adaptations are those characteristics of living things that help them to survive in their environment. We know that living things grow and reproduce. We know that living things need 4 basic needs: water, food, shelter and space, and air. And we know that when living things have their 4 basic needs, they can go through their life cycle, how they grow and reproduce over and over and over. Now this week, we've been learning so much about adaptations. This is how, when an environment is changing, animals and plants, all sorts of living things, will adapt. They will change, they will accommodate, they will adjust so that they can really survive in their environment. They do this so that they can still have their 4 basic needs. They do it so that they can get the water they need. They do it so they can get food. They do it so that they're safe. And they do it so that they can still breathe the air they need. So, ducks have adaptations. Just like some plants have adapted to live in really dry areas, and some animals have adapted to be camouflaged or hidden so that their predators can't find them. We saw that ducks have 2 really cool adaptations: their beaks and their feet. Ducks' beaks have adapted so that when they scoop up water, the water can filter through, and then they get the small plants and small bugs that they like to eat. This is an adaptation. They have adapted. They've changed the characteristic, their beak, so that they can get what they need to stay alive in their environment. And the same thing with their feet. Their feet are webbed. They have skin between their feet so that they can swim in the water. That's an adaptation. It helps the ducks to stay alive in their environment. And you know what's really, really, really cool? Is that other birds have these types of adaptations too. Let's take a look. Here is a really cool chart that shows us a lot of different animal adaptations of birds. When we see this, we see that there are different types of bird beaks, just like our ducks, and different types of feet, also like the ducks. Some feet are adapted for swimming, some are adapted for swimming and walking, or just walking. Some are adapted for perching. That means when we see birds sitting in trees or on telephone wires, they're perching. Other birds' feet have adapted for seizing prey. That means they have these claws that are perfect for scooping up the animals that they need to eat, one of their 4 basic needs. And some birds' feet have adapted for climbing. Think about birds in the jungle that need to climb a lot of trees. And then beaks. Well, we know that ducks' beaks are used for filtering water. And some birds have really pointy beaks that they use to peck wood in trees to get bugs, like a woodpecker. Other beaks are really small and they're perfect for flying through the air to catch little bugs. Other beaks, like a lot of the birds that we might see in the park or outside around us, they use their beaks to crack open seeds. Seeds is the food that they eat. Some really big birds like eagles and falcons and hawks, they have huge beaks that are curled like this. And that's so that they can grab the animals that they eat. And other beaks are used for drilling holes into trees so that they can make nests and get bugs. Oh, think about a hummingbird. A hummingbird has a beak like a probe. They sneak their beak up into flowers and drink the nectar. So these characteristics, these feet and these beaks of birds, well, they are adaptations. Every bird has a beak. Every bird has feet. But not all beaks and feet are the same. Whoa. That's where adaptations come into play. Not all birds live in the same place. If we took a flamingo, like Frank, and put it in Antarctica where there are penguins, well, Frank wouldn't be able to survive there. He doesn't have the same adaptations that penguins have to stay alive in such cold, wet places. Birds, they have so many cool adaptations. They adapt their beaks and they adapt their feet so that they can live in their environment. That is so cool. So just like plants and just like other animals have adaptations that help them to stay alive, so do birds. Today, I want you to build a bird. On Google Classroom, you'll see that you get to put a bird together. You can pick a head, you can pick some feet, and you get to pick a beak. Once you've built your bird, I want you to think, now, based on the beak that I chose for my bird, what would it eat? Birds have different beaks that are adapted to eat the food that they need to stay alive. Check out the chart that shows you the different types of beaks and the food that they eat based on that beak. Once you've figured out what your bird will eat, drag the yellow star over the picture. This is going to help us to see how cool adaptations are. Adaptations, those characteristics of living things that help them to survive in their environment. I hope you have tons of fun building a bird, picking out a beak, and figuring out what your bird will eat. Thanks for hanging out with me today, second grade scientists. I'll see you again tomorrow.